So, hello. I'm curious if anybody can hear me now. So, today my plan is explain you details of my match against Gata Kamsky. It was 3+2 time control. It was planned 4 games match, but unfortunately for me, I lost with score half point against 2.5. But okay, anyway, despite of this poor result, this match seems me quite interesting, and I will try to explain what happened, and I will try to show the most interesting moments. So, first game I played with black, and my opening was more than awful. Okay, we'll see. D4, D5, knight f3. Okay, c4 is more common move, but okay, Gata likes to play system with bishop f4, e3, c3 somehow, so he played knight f3, flexible move. Not immediately bishop f4, because after bishop f4, black has at least this system, knight c6, for example, after c3, cd, ed, bishop f5, if queen b3, queen d7, if knight f3, e6, knight bd2, and now knight e7 is possible, or f6 is possible as well. Flexible system, so black is not hurry to go with knight on f6 and have resolvable counterplay. A little bit similar strategy to this system in Indian. Knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, e3 castle, bishop d2, d5, c takes d5, e takes d5, knight g2. And then white quite often play f3 and planning to push e4. Of course, usually after castle and other prophylactic moves. But okay, so knight f3. Hello, I'm fine, thank you. So I'm worried. I remember your nickname. Probably you are moderator of Gata, or I just confused it. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anybody can see this. So knight f3. I played knight f6 and bishop f4. And I don't know why, but I played c6. Okay, thank you that you like my interview. C6. Okay, according to modern theory, which I even know more or less, C6 is it's not the most active move. Very logical alternatives is C5, and after E3, knight C6, and now after C3, queen B6, queen B3, C4, queen C2, bishop F5, queen C1, E6, black has no problem at all. So modern, this is more or less quite old theory. No? By the way, modern theory is not C3 but knight BD2. And now if CD, ED, queen B6, white has knight B3 with idea A4. If immediately queen b6, my idea is it's not my idea, it's modern theory. Take on c5, queen takes b2, rook b1, queen c3, bishop b5, g6. It's very complicated game. There are many games, but okay, I don't know why I played c6, e3, bishop f5. Okay, another option is queen b6. Very reasonable option here. attack the pawn, and white has choice to defend this pawn with b3 or queen c1, or just play in gambit style like bishop d3, queen takes b2, knight bd2. I don't know if what exactly Gata planned here, but I didn't play queen b6. I played bishop f5. He played c4, e6, knight c3, knight bd7, queen b3. So very natural moves, and I played queen b6. I knew that Bahadur Jabava played queen c8, but it seems me a little bit passive, but probably he was right. Probably he knows theory of this variation better than me. And after bishop e2, for example, bishop e7, and then castle, and then depends. Okay. Somewhere a5 is possible, somewhere is possible bishop d7, d8, c7 plan, somewhere knight b6 to provoke c5. Okay, at the moment probably also knight h5 can be considered. Okay, so h3, and now I don't know what is the best according theory and according Bahadur Jabava too. But okay, I played queen b6, so it's strange that I played this without any thinking. I had an illusion that c5 line is not dangerous for black at all, but it's totally wrong. So c5, queen takes b3, I have no choice because queen cannot go back. a6, b4. Oh, b5 is threat. Obvious threat, so rook c8. And now h3, useful prophylactic move. Of course, white would be happy to come knight d2, b3, a5, but if start immediately with knight d2, knight h5, black can exchange strong bishop, and this position is totally acceptable for black. So h3, good prophylactic move, very standard with bishop e4. And I played bishop e7, knight d2, bishop d8, knight b3, and without any thinking I'm playing bishop c7. Terrible. What can I say? Of course, this position already not so pleasant for black because white has space advantage, white has possibility to have two bishops. But okay, anyway, it's a playable position, especially for blitz, and correct method here is to play castle with obvious plan rook e8 and e5 to create contraplay. So if knight a5, bishop takes a5, b takes a5, looks logical, rook f e8, and black are ready for e5. So bishop d6 we can consider, e5, king d2, but okay, it's playable position. So for example, takes, now maybe. Okay, I don't know exactly, I need to think, I didn't prepare this position for today. Maybe still it's unpleasant, but well, for example, knight e4, I'm worried about takes, and then something like this, and rook b4, such plans. So probably here, instead of knight e4, knight f8. If rook a4, maybe this. If rook b4, bishop c8, and okay. So anyway, it's doesn't look like promising for black, of course, because white bishop on d6 it's extremely strong, given f3 and bishop d3. But okay, at least some play. Okay, maybe knight e4 immediately, but I don't know if there possibility to defend my pawn on b7 against direct attack. But okay, I can probably play this, rook b4, e3, takes knight e4, king c1, or king c1 probably. Okay, where? King c, maybe king e1, I don't know, maybe this is. But okay, at least here I have much more chances than in game. After bishop c7, got just took on c7, played b5, and objectively it looks like game is finished in move 15, because reason is very obvious. So I can, if I take, knight takes b5, if not take, knight d6 is coming, if take, rook a8 check, and rook takes h8. It's very simple, but okay. So I played such a hell in the opening, but okay, so game was continued. I played knight b8, and of course now position of black is totally hopeless. And he played b6. Very strong was b takes a6, just to take the pawn. And black has no compensation. Of course, probably he worried something about something like this. Bishop takes a6, bishop c2, and if knights go somewhere, rook a7. But even this looks like not enough. For example, knight d2, if rook a7, knight b5 is possible. This, rook d7. White can take immediately, can play king for here. Many other moves like knight a5. B takes good, but gotta play b6. It's good as well. But after rook e7, of course, much more precise for him instead of e5. Not possible, because he will just take, and if rook takes, knight b7, and then he can calmly continue position. I have no contraplay. My position is terrible. But he played f3, I played e5, and finally bishop c8. So now at least I have achievements that hi. I don't know who are you, but hi. But okay, at least I didn't lost by force. Only my achievement. Unfortunately, I have no any other achievement. My position. This was very logical. But okay, bishop d3 played g4. It's not necessary. Rook f8, bishop c2. Some moves. Knight bd8. I played. So bishop is a little bit wrong diagonal, so not possible immediately knight a5, bishop a6, and knight takes c6. So I'm trying to improve my knight. Fortunately, after g5, I have square h5. Well, of course, my position is still bad, but I'm at least on the game. D takes e5, not necessary. Many reasonable alternatives. Can you show knight a5? Okay, knight a5, I explained that it was very strong, and my position is very bad, probably even losing. Bishop takes a6 instead of f3. No, bishop takes a6, knight takes a6. Okay, so there are some moves. D takes e5, gotta played, not necessary, h4, for example. But okay, he took knight d4, knight e6, b4 he played. If f4, unfortunately, I have knight takes d4, and bishop is hanging, and after e is d4, rook e1, I'm simplifying chances. So he played b4, anyway took. So h6, my position still dangerous, because white has ideas to go with knight on a5, and then bishop f5, or bishop d3, bishop a6, or bishop a4, bishop takes c6, or knight a2, king f8, knight c1, but knight g8. So I'm still fighting, not losing immediately. Maybe losing, but he played knight b3. Okay, if bishop f e7, at least I have, and he cannot take my pawn b7 immediately. So knight b3, knight e7, I protected f5 square. So now I was more optimistic about results, so I felt that I have good chance to survive after such a... Yes, bishop f5, I explained it. I can defend with king e7, if king b3, or king e8, if knight b3, king d7. So, and I have contraplay with knight e7. So knight b3, king f2, and now, okay, I want to try to make fortress. I'm not sure that the way what's correct, but okay, so I played this h4, h5, very strange move. Okay, much more natural looks plan. Knight b3, knight d2, knight f3 to provoke. It takes f4, and white still have good winning chances. But h5, he played king d8, bishop d3, and knight c8. So now it's dead draw the board, but okay, I need to be precise, of course, but probably only what I can worry about that white will take somewhere on g5 and penetrate with knight into e5. So knight a5 he played, but so now according to this, the most logical was king f3 probably, or knight b3, but he played f5. This looks like dead draw, yes. It not only looks, but this. I thought that okay, this is dead draw. I can make draw anyway. So and my evaluation of this position, it's totally correct, but okay, you will see how I managed to lose this. Okay, f5, it's strange decision. More practical chances was to keep tension with idea g and come with knight to e5. So f5, king d7. I don't know, probably more active move knight b5. Knight b5 not possible because sorry, maybe knight b5 is possible. Even active move, which I don't consider it. Well, now I start to remember that probably I have considered this, but I had illusions that after knight takes c6, king d7, white has check, but okay, I have this, and suddenly I am winning. So after knight b5, okay, so knight b5 was strong. Of course, black cannot win this. White can play knight b3 and just protect everything. But okay, at least in this position, even black seems like a strong part now. But okay, so I miss opportunity knight b5. Because if he takes king d7, if knight a5, knight takes d4, but okay, I don't know what is this, frankly speaking. Knight c2 also. Yes, knight c2 coming. And it looks good for black. More attractive for black. Okay, after knight b3, white can keep draw in passive way. Okay, so I missed knight b5, but okay, looks like that draw. It's and this is true. King c7, king d3, king d7, and now okay, I expected. Okay, so few moves and draw, but okay, suddenly he played this and he repeated knight b3, and suddenly he played knight d2, and how it's possible to lose this position? It's impossible, but I managed this. I played king d7, okay, normal move. king e7, king c2. And now I am playing king d7. Of course, much more simpler was knight a3 check to transfer my knight to c4 with tempo, and white has no any chances to win because a5, my knight has control a5 square, so if white will exchange knights somewhere, it's not dangerous. For example, of course, knight c3 is possible, and white need to defend with knight h2 withdraw. But even if imagine this line, okay, this knight e3 is winning now. But for example, even this, it's the total draw. So black can just wait, and when white king will come to by knight e3. Yes, here, yes, of course, I explain. But if immediately, okay, if immediately this knight h2, it's draw. But I want to just explain that black don't need to worry about knight exchange. So if, okay, for example, white can play this more accurately. Knight d2. There's this. But okay, it's that draw. So I am just waiting when white king will come to a5. Black, I will put my king on a7 or b7. So no chances at all. But I played king d7. He played king b3. And suddenly he wants to go to a4, a5. If I go to king with b7, maybe somewhere knight sacrifice. And I started to panic. I played king c7, normal move, and here still that draw. But what I need, just wait, nothing to do. 8, for example, or king b8. So this two, or even king b7. This is not suits one because after king a5 I can allow myself even play king e7. And white has nothing to do because any ideas with knight sacrifice doesn't work. For example, if knight takes g5, I'm just taking, and after f6, knight takes d4, f7, knight e6, I am winning. And if knight e5, I am just taking, and okay, knight c7 is possible immediately, but I even can play this. And white has nothing. If f6, knight c7, if e6, knight c7 as well, and my next move is knight e8, and I'm even winning. So in this position, after correct defense, white cannot do anything totally. Position is dead draw, but I played knight c3, and after this, knight takes g5. It's now it's the end. I lost by time, but okay, position is already totally losing. So it was a totally incredible move. Knight c3. I lost the game. So first game I lost, and it was unpleasant start of this. But okay, in second game I had white, and I wanted to win this game. I tried very hard. You will see. So I played d4, d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, queen b3. Okay, there are two similar lines with queen b3 and queen c2 now. It can go to same position if black is taking, and this, or bishop g4 is also possible. So here is no difference between b3 or queen b2. Although white has possibility after d takes c4, e4, e6, b3, very sharp line. For example, this with pawn sacrifice e6, bishop d2, and now if allow bishop a5, white has very good compensation for the pawn, for example, here. So according to theory, the best way for black is a5 and only then to play bishop b7. Okay, white has still compensation for the pawn, but not so easy. But okay, queen b3, e6 played Gata. The difference after queen c2, if black plays e6, white has idea knight bd2 to prepare e4. What about a4 after b5? e4, b5, a4. a4 is possible, but are there any special threats? For example, e6. And there is important idea. For example, if knight c3, black can even play a6. And if takes, bishop b7, it's excellent position for black. It's theory from another line, from Chebanenko line. For example, if knight c3, a6, if now queen c2, queen c2, d takes c4, e4, b5. And now b3, it's the main move. B3 is main move. About B3, I recommend you to see game Gelf and Tomaszewski. Was very interesting game. But if A4, E6, it's excellent position for black because the same idea: A, B, C, B, knight B5, A, B, rook takes, bishop B7. If to play same with E5, it's also very good for black. Bishop B7, and then if rook a7, queen b6, if rook a1, knight b4. So this is a good line for black anyway. Yes, queen b3 strong against g6 because if now to play g6, knight c3, now bishop g7, c takes d5, c takes d5, bishop g5, white is better. Knight e4 is standard Grunfeld move is not possible because queen takes d5 and white is just pawn up. And if play knight c6, e3 simply, and white has better position. If to play d takes c4, queen takes c4, bishop g7, e4, castle, there is Boleslavsky system in Grunfeld, but according to modern theory, it's quite pleasant for white. The main move is bishop e2. For example, bishop e2, b5, one of theoretical line is this. White is slightly better. Yes, but after queen c2, black has more reason to play g6. Now, for example, if bishop f4, it is possible bishop g7, e3 castle, knight c3, c5 to play in Grunfeld style, or another option, d takes c4. At the moment when white cannot take with bishop yet, after queen takes c4, bishop g7, and for example in the game Krasinkov-Gelfand, black equalized it quite easily. Okay, but I played queen b3, Gata didn't play g6, he played e6, because now I have no plan. Knight bd2, e4, my queen on b3, so I played g3. And there is Catalan line. And knight bd7, another plan is take here and play b5. And now white has choice where to put his queen, to b3, d3 or c2. I played queen c2 and now bishop b7, bishop g2, and black has choice. So bishop e7, it's modern line Karyakin played. But Karyakin played this from a different move order. I will explain. It was move order knight f3, d5, g3, bishop e7, bishop g2, castle, castle, d takes c4, queen c2. Now there are options a6, b6, but Karyakin played c6, after queen takes c4, b5, queen c2, bishop b7, same position. In position, queen b3 was my game against Daniel Friedman. I was black. Well, very interesting game. I recommend to see who are interested. Here, if knight bd7 immediately looks logical to prepare c5. If, for example, castle c5, black is totally okay, but knight e5 now it's very concrete. So knight takes e5, d takes e5 is acceptable for black. And if queen b6, knight bd7, good move. Bishop e3, it's not precise because black has this possibility. No problem at all. So strong is take immediately. c5, this, and this position is slightly better for white because if rook c8, rook c1 is unpleasant. If c takes d4, bishop d4, rook c8 now, knight c3, and this pin looks like unpleasant, but actually black cannot utilize it. For example, if b4, queen b3 also possible, but queen e4. It's not a bad option, this idea. If, for example, this, and rook c4 is a big blunder because bishop takes g7. So here, slightly better for white. It was in my game against Michael Adams, for example. Okay, but Gata played knight bd7, normal move. Bishop g2, bishop e7. Of course, immediately bishop e7 is possible, maybe even more flexible, and play b6 now. To have possibilities to develop knight on a6 in some variation. But okay, it's for blitz, it's too deep probably. Okay, so castle, normal position, and now probably the most natural move is knight c3 here. For example, sometimes bishop on d2 in this position already. For example, if black use different move order. I will try to explain some details. So this, not this, g3, check. Not knight bd2, but bishop takes d2. Bishop e7, bishop g2, c6, castle, queen b3, knight bd7. So same position, but with bishop on d2. And there is a difference. So now white can consider rook c1. It's interesting idea. And point of this idea: if knight b6, white has bishop a5. And if d takes c4, rook takes c4. If queen d5, bishop takes b6, a takes b6, knight e5. With advantage. Point of this advantage is that if queen d8, rook takes c6. B takes c6, knight takes c6, it's bad for black. If queen takes d4, knight f3, white is much better because pawn structure. So there is idea, but with bishop c1, I cannot realize this idea. Okay, there are experts, for example, Croatian Grandmaster Mari Bosiožić or Ukrainian Grandmaster Anton Korobov. They are using different move order. For example, here instead of castle, they are playing knight b6 immediately, and after queen b3, knight b6. So idea is that rook not on c1, and after bishop a5, d6. is possible, and white cannot take this pawn with rook. If c5, knight can just go back with idea to prepare b6 or e5 or knight e4. So this move order is interesting. Of course, after knight bd7, white can change his plan and choose queen c2, castle, rook d1, this plan, or bishop f4. So, but okay, if you are playing Catalan with, with white or with black, I mean this closed system with d5, e5, and c6 triangle, so you need to know that somewhere bishop can be on c1, somewhere can be on d2, and it's important to feel this difference very well. So, okay, but let's go back to not this game. C6. Like this. So I played rook d1. Okay, I'm not sure. Very logical was at least bishop f4, and if knight h5 to play bishop d2, and if knight f6, rook c1 to use same idea. If knight b6. Bishop a5. If b6, white is slightly better. Okay, for example, takes. Now knight h3, for example, is possible. It was my game against Gelf, and finally I lost this game, but after opening position was much more pleasant for me. It was something like this. So this is idea. And if knight b6, as I explained it, bishop a5. If a5 now, I don't know even what is the best here. Maybe bishop f4, but okay, after bishop f4, knight h5. So, okay, a5, I didn't check, so it's possible. Okay, but I played rook d1 and gotta play a5. Very principal move. Of course, black has another solid play. Just play b6, knight c3, bishop b7. Like in my game against Polish grandmaster Bartlomiej Mocheja, which was continued bishop f4, knight h5, bishop d2, knight f6, rook c1, rook c8. Now, very popular position. Dingliren against Elyanov played knight e1 here. Okay, there are other moves. Okay, objectively, it's more or less equal position. And Gata played a5. It's quite sharp line, and I choose queen c2. It looks strange because I'm losing tempo. So I played queen b3, and then I retreat queen c2, and probably bad move for black at all. But okay, what to do? It's the question. Of course, knight c3 looks the most natural, but it leads to very sharp play because black has a4. And now knight takes a4, d takes c4. And certainly white cannot take on c4 because after b5 they are losing the piece. So queen c2 and b5. And now, after knight c3, bishop b7, it was game Borges Ponomarev, which Ruslan won with black. So knight c5 looks tempting somehow, but after knight takes c5, d takes c5, knight d5, it's very, very unclear position. And not easy to understand what white should play. For, of course, if e4, knight b4 is ideal. Like if queen e2, knight d3, and important that after knight e5, black has knight takes c1 with attack of queen. So there are some other moves, but okay, it's not easy to find way for advantage. For example, if a3 with idea to push e4, black can respond queen c7. And if e4, knight b4, again, it's coming. If knight g5, f5. And if e4, knight b4 again, and then knight d3 with reasonable contraplay. So if bishop d2, for example, bishop takes c5. And now, if b3, queen b6, it's not so pleasant. After e3, takes. Okay, white has a compensation for the pawn, but it's enough probably only for equality. Okay, there are some other ideas, for example, queen c2 immediately, but d takes c4. Okay, white always has compensation, but okay, black has pawn. For example, if knight d2, knight b6, it's a good idea. So I didn't play knight c3, I played queen c2, and now very logical for black was b6 to prepare bishop b7 or bishop a6. But Gata played b5, another move, and I played c5. This move leads to close position, but okay, b3 is alternative. I don't know, is it strong or bad? Okay, it's playable, but how strong? a4 even black can consider. Okay, so I played c5, knight e4, knight e4. So now plan of black more or less clear. So they want to play f5, some kind of Stonewall. So he blocked queen's flank, and for example, if knight c3, f5, if bishop f4, g5 looks quite logical, and then black is very active. Bishop comes to f6, total control. So I wanted to complicate plans of my opponent. So after knight e4, I played knight e1. Well, my idea, if he will push f5 to prepare, first of all, idea to transfer my knight on d3, and second idea to prepare f3, e4 in some moment. He played f5. Well, very principal reaction could be e5 here, of course. Because after knight e5, knight e1, the has, yes, e5, very logical move, probably got a concept. Okay, after e5, it's important to see that if take, it looks like okay for black. So probably bishop takes e4 was what got afraid. After d takes e4, d takes e5, and if bishop takes c5, okay, maybe rook takes d7, even possible, or just knight c3 with idea knight takes e4. But the big question if white has anything convincing after queen c7 here. So this is very sharp position, and I have feelings that black is totally okay. But okay, if with playing this, black need to be ready for some sharp game, for example, after bishop f4, g5, something like this. But okay, so Gata preferred to play f5, and I played f3, knight g5, knight c3. Another option is knight d3, but okay, after knight d3, probably I afraid bishop f6, so I need lost tempi to defend my pawn on d4. So I was dreaming to push e4 as soon as possible, so I played knight c3, he played king h8, and okay, what? So it lost me e4, but okay, probably there is some contraplay. So if e4, probably he can take, and play b4. And so if knight a4, knight takes e4, there is contraplay. If bishop g5, bishop takes g5, then bishop e3 is coming, also some contraplay. Okay, knight takes d5, piece sacrifice may be possible, but it is extremely difficult to evaluate this in blitz. So in this moment, I decide not to play e4. So I'll play king d3, bishop f6. He is attacking my pawn. So he wants me to forget about e4 plan, but I wanted to play e4. So I played bishop e3. Okay, probably necessary not forget that this was blitz, so probably there is a reason to consider knight e5 here, very concrete move. Why not? Because now pawn c6 is under attack, and for example, if knight takes e5, d takes e5. Of course, if this, okay, I can just take and play f4, and okay, this is 3 pawns for the piece, but in this position, I think white should be better after queen d2, for example. So I think piece is stronger, knight is stronger here than three pawns. And okay, if, for example, bishop e7, I can consider something, even, for example, king h1, idea to avoid bishop takes c5 with check and to prepare e4. Okay, but black can play queen e8. So, very unclear situation. e4 probably. So, but after e4 takes b4 is possible, so not so easy. Okay, bishop f6, so I decide just defend my attacked pawn with bishop e3, so my plan bishop f2 and to prepare e4. But okay, he played knight f7, he is preparing e5. Okay, I can block f4, totally block position, but okay, it looks like drawish more or less, but I am -1 already, so I wanted to win, so I played this, allowed e5, and now if takes is possible, but he can take, and I was worried that somewhere here knight g4 will come, and unpleasant threat for me. Okay, this variation probably not forcing, knight takes e4 can be considered, but if knight takes e4, bishop f5, so it's quite complicated, especially for blitz. But okay, I played e4, so my idea is piece sacrifice. Okay, I have understood that objectively it's extremely risky, probably incorrect, but okay, it's blitz. I hope it will be some chances for me. So e takes d4, another position is possible, this, knight takes b5, and if this, e5, so something wild on the board. Knight takes e5, bishop this, and now probably knight takes d3, rook takes d3, knight e5. Okay, it's this. Exactly this position is much better for white, but this variation is not forcing. So e takes d4, knight takes d5. So this was my point of my idea. I have to pass a pawn in center, so I hope it will give me good practical chances. But okay, we'll see. This knight d e5. I took on e5. Okay, probably it was blitz. Knight takes e5. I'm not so sure that this is correct choice. f4 was reasonable choice. But okay, in blitz, it's not so clear. If you are playing f4, you need to be sure what to play against knight g4, what to play against knight c4. So I took on e5. He took on e5. I played f4. Okay, I have seen that d3. It's annoying for me, but I was afraid that after immediately bishop takes d4, not queen takes d5. Queen takes d5. It's queen takes d5 also possible because knight f3 check. So even this possible, but after bishop takes d4, I was strongly afraid this move, which blocks my bishop g2 and create contraplaying queen side. So I played f4, but d3. Black has very reasonable contraplay. Knight is ready to jump to g4 or c4. So queen c1. Probably objectively, okay, I don't know, probably objectively best was this, to play without rook, but to have hope for to pass pawns. Okay, probably, but it's not easy decision. I played queen c1, knight g4. Knight c4 was also possible, but after knight c4, rook b1 was my plan. It's okay, probably this is totally incorrect, but okay, this blitz. So knight g4 he played, rook d3. He took my strong bishop, king takes e4, b4. Activate his bishop via a6, d6, bishop a6, rook d5. Oh, objectively looks like bad for white because pawns are not so strong till now, and sometimes I have a problem with my king. But okay, so rook e8 he played with idea rook e2, bishop f3, and now rook c8. Incredible moment. And now I played queen c2. I realized that d7 was possible to win the rook and to have winning position. So it's incredible moment, of course. So queen c2 I played, but it's not the end yet. So queen c2 instead of d7. So my hope was g6, d7. Okay, sorry. Gotta not give such pleasant again. Queen d7, a1, g6. Now he defended pawn. Flip the board. Flip the board. Maybe I can, but how to do? Where is this function? Flip the board. Okay, then I will take right click on the board. File, Control F. File. File. Here. How I can do it? Can some... Because, sorry, I'm bad expert, so how to flip the board. Okay, at the moment I don't need it because I am playing with white, but okay, I will ask my colleague during the 10 minutes break. Okay, g6, so game is continued. a3 I played. Okay, I need to do something. My pawn is blocked. He wants bishop b5, bishop c6. So I want to create contraplay against b4 pawn. But objectively, of course, this is rubbish. Bishop b5 he played. b3 was very strong. To fix my weakness b2, and if queen takes b3, rook b8, and then rook takes b2, probably I'm just losing. Not probably, but it's true because I'm losing my queen. So b3 was extremely strong, but okay. Sorry, setting, file, option, game. Then you will find flipboard. Okay, file, file, and where is game? New? No. Open? No. Save? No. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm such a bad expert in function. So how to use? Okay, allow me please continue this game because there are many incredible things. So b3 was very strong, but Gata played bishop b5, ab, Rook 5 d2. Now he played b3. Of course, objectively, black is just winning, probably, because my pawns are blocked. But okay, game is continuing. And now, excellent moment. So Gata played queen a7. And I played d7. And his idea was amazing. Rook takes c5, so he hoped that I will take. And after bishop e8, I need to resign because I'm losing my queen. So if queen a1, rook a5. But after rook takes c5, I managed to play queen a1. Fantastic resource on the very short of time. Not to take on e8, so I'm really proud of play queen a1. And now, suddenly, click on the board and then flip board. Board. But how to flip the board? Okay. Oh, sorry. What happened? Uh, окей, this chess base is this. Sorry. Я выключу звук. Значит, чекай. Що? Згорнути. Hello again. So everything is disappear, all variation, because okay, but good now, but I cannot. So all variation are disappeared. Oh, I am disappointed. But okay, so I will continue. So I played queen a1. But board was flipped already. But I don't need. Just a moment. I need to flip board again. Sorry. Sorry. Just a moment, please. Yes, I am white, but I need to flip. Control F. Control F. Yes. Oh, Control F. So simple. Okay. So after Queen A1, suddenly everything is nice for me. So I was so proud to find this move, and I'm even now I'm proud. But okay, game is not finished, and Gata took my queen and played rook c2, and suddenly I have serious problem with c2 pawn, with b3 pawn, and I cannot take. Okay, I can take, but after b takes c2, rook c1, bishop a4, it's only draw. So only what king e2, bishop takes b2, king d2. This, and then bishop e2, bishop d3. Okay, this is only draw. Of course, I was more ambitious. You don't prepare opening with chess base? No. Why in notation Gata is white? Okay, because there is 3 games in one. So before I showed the game when Gata played with white. Now second game I'm playing with black. Not, I am with white. And third game, opening with chess base. Surely I'm prepared opening with chess base. Why not? Because if I'm curious with some variation, I need to see which games was played. So okay, so I played king e2, and but now another part of games, many errors. So okay, now it looks like a good idea for black is take on b2 anyway. For example, bishop takes b2, and very likely that Gata afraid that rook a8, but actually it doesn't work because bishop c3, rook takes e8 check, king g7. And now I cannot stop black queen after rook takes c2, b takes c2, and after this move, okay, black can, for example, take and play b2, this, and obvious that only black can play for win in this position. Okay, probably this is a fortress after rook d2, but certainly white has no any chance to win in this position. So bishop takes b2 was extremely reasonable alternative, and objectively I have no any chances for win in this position. But okay. Gata played bishop b5. Very strange move. King d1, and now rook c7. Very, very strange move, because from practical reason, of course, much more logical to exchange these pawns and try to make draw. Because b3 bishop after rook b2. Okay, maybe I have chances for win, so after this and bishop d5, yes, but okay, it's not clear if it's possible to win this. At least there is many difficulties. Rook 7, okay, it's a strange decision because time 7 chances to win them. So I played rook a5. There are other moves, for example, bishop d5 was interesting. Okay, rook a5, bishop c4, bishop e2, bishop f7. Okay, if bishop takes e2, probably The problem for black, I will not take with queen because rook c2, but probably I will take with rook and then try to win pawn b3. If rook d7, king c1. Okay, bishop f7 and rook b5. Okay. Bishop f3, rook a7. So objectively, white should win this position, but not so easy. Rook b7, for example, was logical idea to exchange. See, now with king on d1, I would realize that my correct plan is put king on c1 and then attack pawn b3 with rook and bishop. But okay, I played bishop d5. Now again, black has possibility to attack my pawn. For example, he gave check, king e2. And now totally normal was take and play rook b1 or rook a2 and then, okay, exchange this and try, sorry. 3+2 was time control. So something like this. I don't know evaluation of this position. Is it winning or draw? I don't know. Who know? Probably somebody knows, but I don't know. But okay, it was incredible move, rook h1. Whoa. So how it's possible? Gata blunted there at the rook. And okay, I had probably some second, only few seconds left, and I took the rook. Of course, I could finish game immediately with rook b7. After rook b7, I could rook 8 takes h2, only move king d3 or king e3, doesn't matter. And black can just resign. So with rook b7, I could go on immediately after incredible blunder, rook h1. But I took the rook. Incredible play. Bishop c4. Now I am still winning, but the game is continuing. King e3. So it was some mystery in this game. Okay, king e3, it's winning move as well, because in this position, objectively, everything is winning. But only if understand ideas. But unfortunately, I didn't understand ideas. So one of winning idea was king d1. If bishop takes b5, bishop d5, for example, bishop a4, I'm attacking pawn, king c1, and then rook d3, and game is over. Simple, simple. I didn't. So I played king e3, bishop b5. So bishop d5, bishop a4. And position still totally winning. It's difficult to imagine more winning position. But only the problem that necessary to understand in very, very short time how to win this. So there are several plans, so it's possible to come back with king to c1 and prepare rook d3. But okay, the most technical move, which I didn't consider, unfortunately, is rook d4, of course. So rook d4, I'm attacking the bishop, so he needs to take, I'm just taking, and then king c3, taking on b3, and so he has no any chance here. Very easy win for white. But okay, this idea didn't occur to my head during the game, unfortunately. So I played king d3, bishop b5. My idea was king c4, but bishop b5 not allows. Bishop a4. And now, okay, if I wanted to To have my king on c4 was logical to consider bishop a6 to prepare king c4, but okay, it's normal move, nothing bad at least. So h5, h4, king f8, bishop a6 now. Okay, I played this. King c4, king b4, king a4, bishop f6, bishop b5, bishop d4. So he is just waiting, and I cannot find. Don't that I go to c1 with my king. But okay, I played this. Bishop f6, king b5, bishop e7 he played. So he's helping me, and now rook d2 again. So total blindness. So rook takes e7, of course. King takes e7, king b4. Black pawns are fixed. So bishop a4 and bishop takes b3 coming. So no chances for black to survive. But I didn't win this position. I didn't take on e7. I didn't see this idea at all. So I played rook d2, bishop f6, king c5, bishop e7, king d4 I played. Again, very nice rook d6. And black has no defense against bishop d5. So bishop endgame is losing, pawn endgame is losing, black cannot do anything. But I didn't see this. I played king d4, bishop f6, king e3, king e7. And now, okay, looks like I was close to king e2 now. And then king d1, king c1 to win this game. But I played bishop a4, bishop c4. Well, and now rook d4, it's idea, it's possible. Or plan with king f2, e1, d1, c1. Okay, but I didn't see winning ideas. I played this after king e6, and okay, now I played rook b7. Probably it was already total collapse, looks like. So I decided to exchange this pawn. So still was possible rook d4. Okay, rook d2 back is possible, but rook d4 is a very concrete way to win, because okay, bishop d5 black should play, or take immediately. If takes, I'm taking. So if bishop d5, okay, king c3 is winning, or bishop e8 is winning. So everything is winning. So after bishop d5 immediately, black has nothing to do. For example, what he can do. Somewhere I can consider move with rook, even probably. Or bishop takes g6 is threat. He cannot trap my bishop. For example, if even bishop f3, I can even take here simply. So if this after king f6, bishop e8, totally win it. So if he, okay, so no chances, but my mind was blocked, so I didn't see this idea at all to play, to give my rook against his bishop. So I played rook b7. It's totally crazy decision. Of course, he took on b2, and this endgame looks like drawish. At least I don't know how I could win this. I went here with idea, because my idea was something like this. To play this and rook f6, and after takes, this is, of course, I am winning. But after rook f6, black can just play king g7, and after rook f7, king g8, I have no progress. So, okay, probably there are some winning chances, but more likely this is just draw. So I try this. So f5, g takes. Probably only my chance to find better moment for g4, but I think with accurate defense it's anyway draw. Hello. So this is draw, and rook takes h4. Okay, I choose this way. Another way to draw this game was take here and to play this and come to h1 with my kings, but I choose another was draw. So I didn't manage to win this game and score half point and against 1.5, and second game I was black. So now I can flip board and show you last game of this match. So only -1, two games more, but okay, actually it was just one. Okay, I will see what happened. So I was black. Certainly. So now I can flip board. Control F. Yes. Okay, so now I know this function. Knight f3 and not d5 anymore because bishop f4, so I choose c5. Okay. I remember game Kamsky Anand, very old game. Kamsky played c3 and he won after very bad play of Vichy. So after g6, bishop g5, knight e4, bishop f4, this, this, this. It's amazing that not knight a5, sorry, knight d8. It's amazing that I still remember such a rubbish, but I remember. So it's how it was. Of course, black is totally losing, but if I would queen c7, something like this, such a rubbish. Yes. And Vichy resigned because if queen takes b5, bishop takes d6. If knight c6, just takes queen c4. Okay, it was game Kamsky Anand, but I had idea to improve this game somehow. There are many options, but at least I didn't plan to play g6 here. So against Andrei Harlow, I played here d5, d takes c5, a5, something like this. Also possible to play Slav defense exchanges. I don't know what I would play against c3, but Gata played d5 principally, and I played a Schmidt variation, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, bishop e2. Bishop c4 is more active, at least. Choice of Boris Gelfand was bishop c4, and after castle, bishop g4. Of course, h3 and queen takes f3 is possible, but Boris played bishop e2 with idea h3 and take with bishop. But okay, Gata played bishop e2, castle, e6. Before in this position, I played knight a6 with plan knight c7, same as Viktor Korchloi played against Anatoly Karpov in Baguio. But now I played e6. It's a favorite line of Tomak Markovsky. Knight d2. Okay, it's logical plan, transfer knight on c4, but in this position probably not the best plan, in my opinion at least. Okay, white has several alternatives. If just take. If bishop f4, d5, e takes d5, it was game Karpov-Topalov, something like this. More or less equal position, maybe slightly better for white. So very logical looks bishop f4 idea to make pressure e6 and prepare knight d2 c4. But okay, knight d2. Alternatives are rook e1, h3, many moves is possible. Knight d2, it's a little bit artificial. This knight bd7, and black are ready to play knight b6, attack weak pawn on d5. So knight c4, knight b6. Of course, exchange this knight is good for black, and I was quite happy with my position. So he played knight e3. Okay, so it looks like white lost many tempos with maneuver by his knight, but okay, e5 is possible, but you mean here e5? E5 is possible, but this type of position I would prefer with white. So knight d2, I want, for example, h6, bishop h4, if g5, bishop g3, if knight h5, knight d2, and if knight f4, bishop g4 is coming. So, okay, matter of taste, but I would prefer white in this position. So knight c4, knight b6, knight e3. And now I played bishop d7, very standard move, especially if remember with this, I mean d4, d5, c4, e6, knight f3, knight, sorry, I want to demonstrate something else. D4, knight f6, c4, e6, g3, this line. Knight d2, sorry. Yes, there's this. So same plan. Knight coming to c4, then go back from c4, knight on b6, white is planning a5 and knight c4, and black is playing bishop d7. Idea if a5, knight c8, if knight c4, bishop b5. So more or less the same plan. Of course, a5 is not only move, according to theory, e4 is stronger, but okay, it's another story. So, I played bishop d7 with same ideas, more or less, but objectively, probably it's not the best move. For example, now I would prefer rook e8. Very natural and concrete move. My idea just to play knight e4. So, for example, if a4, knight e4. I'm ready to exchange knights and activate my bishop. For example, if knight takes e4, rook takes e4. Now, if a5, rook d4 is quite dangerous for white, and knight takes d5 is coming. If, for example, c3, now, only now, after exchanging these pieces, I can play bishop d7, a5, knight c8. Black has a good position. So knight on e3 has solid position, but from other point of view, this knight block development of bishop on c1. So black has excellent version of Benoni here. But okay, I chose bishop d7. Maybe rook e8 was stronger. So a4, a6, a5. Not necessary, but he played this. Bishop d2. If knight c4, my plan was bishop b5, as I explained. Bishop d2, rook e8. Now I am ready for the knight e4. He preventing this, and knight e7. So I want to play knight b5 or bishop b5, depends. Knight c4, he played bishop b5. Of course, probably there are other opportunities white can think about. For example, white can play rook e1 with idea if knight b5 to play knight a4 to penetrate on b6. So I'll play, okay, from the opening start inaccuracy. So my inaccuracy was bishop d7, and probably his move. also wasn't totally the best, but okay. He played knight c4, bishop b5, took, knight b6, rook b8, c3 he played, c4, bishop e2, knight c8. And now I was quite happy with my position, especially I have seen that if bishop a3, I have this idea to have more than enough compensation for exchange, like in style Pulugaevsky-Petrosyan game, most famous game, and Kasparov-Anderson, similar idea. But Gata took here, rook takes c8, bishop f3. And now, okay, black has position which Benoni player would be very happy to see. So black is better, it's clear. With black, so I have excellent chance to equalize score. Only question how to play. So there are several good options. So knight e4 looks logical. Knight d7 looks very logical. Yes, knight d7, it's very logical with idea knight c5, yes. But okay, I was greedy and I decided, of course I have seen both these moves, but I decided try to attack pawn immediately. So I played rook a8, my idea is simple, to take the pawn and try to realize this pawn. Well, bishop f4. Frankly speaking, I missed this move, but okay, nothing terrible has happened. But now only my problem that I cannot take a5 easily because my pawn d6 is hanging. So I started to think and played bishop f8. Defended my pawn and I want to take his pawn again. And I remember during the game I expected that he will play something like b4, for example, this, something like this, with chances for draw without pawn. But suddenly he played bishop g5. This I cannot tell that this is good move, but it's quite surprising. Okay, I played h6, normal reaction, although very good alternative was bishop e7, this idea to prepare knight d7, or even knight e4 in some variation. But okay, h6 totally normal move because bishop f6, queen takes f6 good for me. So bishop h4. And now, what to say? I have excellent position. And of course I understand that there are two good moves, bishop g7 or bishop e7. So both of them give me pleasant position without risk, with still some winning chances. But I see idea, so I can take the pawn. And started to calculate. Yes, bishop e7, okay, or bishop g7, it's not so easy, but bishop e7 idea, if rook e1, just play knight d7. And then knight c5, so it's bad position for white. Okay, of course I'm not claiming that black is winning, but at least very pleasant position. But okay, I played g5. Okay, of course I have understood that this is risky move because after g5 my king is much weak, f5 square. This is I understand, but and I. I understand from practical reason bishop e7 or bishop g7. Yes, I know that this, but okay, so probably -1 score pressed me, and okay, I see possibility to take the pawn and started to calculate. I have understood idea that if I play g5, he will play bishop g3, and here he will play h4, and he has contraplay because my queen is weak. But before playing g5, I calculated this, and my idea was I can play queen a4, and then if queen d2, g4. And when this position occurred in the board, without any thinking, I played totally crazy move queen a4. Uh, so what can I say about this position? Of course, after g5, black need to be precise. But from other point of view, I still have one extra pawn. And his bishops are not so active yet, especially bishop on g3. So, in my opinion, okay, probably black still better here, but but it was very important to find correct move. Correct moves was queen d8 here, because I have two weaknesses: g5 pawn after ag and d6 pawn. So after queen d8, so I'm ready to defend both of this weakness. Okay, in this position, totally playable. Okay, white has some compensation for the pawn, but okay, it's I'm still in chances. For example, if takes. So, okay, if now queen d4, I'm ready for bishop g7. If queen c2 with idea queen f5, I can prevent this with queen d7. And if queen d2, queen f5. So, okay, rook a1 is possible, but okay, I have one extra pawn. Okay, some compensation, but at least I am not worse, and can try even win this position. But queen a4 was totally terrible. I totally missed queen d4. But from other point of view, it's difficult to imagine more natural move, because he immediately attacked my knight, and everything is bad now. Okay, probably the best chance was king g7, but psychologically to play this, no, after queen d2, g4 was my idea. Also bishop d1, it's also, yes, queen d2 also was strong. So queen a4 was incredible move. So instead of normal move queen d8, so it was something like a hallucination. Because now important that after queen d2 I have knight e4. And my pawn is protected. Oh, probably I have knight d7 as well. It's I have even choice, but queen d8 was a very important move to play. But after queen a4, okay, queen d2 is also possible, right? Because after g4, white has probably queen f4 possible, probably bishop d1 is possible. So it's very easy to see that my queen is in totally wrong place. He played queen d4, I played bishop g7, ag. Unfortunately, no, after queen d2, knight e4 is possible. I explained this, that after, okay, maybe g4 is possible as well, but why not knight e4? Or knight d7 is even possible. Okay, maybe g4, no, g4, queen g5, no. Certainly not g4. So knight e4 is the most natural, or maybe knight d7 to prepare knight e5. It's also, okay, maybe. But, okay, so this. So, okay, so maybe white has some compensation, but not more. And in my opinion, after queen d8, okay, maybe slightly better chances for black, exactly. Something like this. But okay, I played queen a4, terrible move, totally. So, and he played queen d7. And he took, unfortunately, I don't have knight e4 because queen e3. And there is a pin, queen from a4, not defend my rook, unfortunately. So g5, bishop takes d6, he played correctly. Knight e4, queen b6, so I had illusions that I will find something. Now he surprised me. He played rook c1, very cool move, because I expected that he will play something like this. Bishop h5, knight takes f1, queen takes b7, rook e1, and I was afraid it can be made somewhere, but actually it's just a check. And probably I have also some checks. Probably doesn't work, but okay, this is what it seemed me dangerous during the game. But okay, he calmly played rook c1. And now my position is really bad already, because all white pieces has harmony. My pieces are out of play, especially my queen. If queen a6, of course, nobody will exchange queen. After queen c7, white is much. Bishop h5 is threat. After this. So I have two weaknesses. So king is weak, and passive pawn is very strong. Also, okay, now I have some chances after bishop f6. So probably this was my best chance. Only to save game, of course. So, of course, white is much better, but okay, it's still some fight. So at least I am not losing immediately. But I played queen b3, so I totally missed bishop a3 idea. So I thought that he will take on b7, I will take on b2, it will be some contraplay, something. And even I considered something like this, rook c2, and was unclear for me, so probably there is something like this ideas, and okay. So now at least I have perpetual check. Probably I am winning. So this was something what I considered. But bishop a3, it was cool shower for me. I have no any threat anymore and no idea. So my queen on b3 is outside. So okay, I took on f3. Well, probably. Okay, I'm just losing now, but probably the best way to finish this match was idea to take on f3. I took this, and now take on c3. It was the best idea. Losing idea anyway. But if rook takes c3, queen d1, and rook e1, probably I'm even winning. I'm not sure. I didn't check this with computer, but there are too many threats. But okay, of course, after bishop takes c3, d6, I cannot do anything because d7 is coming, and this is finish of this comedy. But okay, I played queen a4, d6, queen a4, d7. This was end of story, and I had illusions that I was played world championship match, because I commented Nepo against Jan, and I had this illusion, and unfortunately I didn't become world champion with winning this match. Sorry, thanks for attention. Bye.